And to me, my belief systems, and I say I don't care what people say, for me, my belief system is very basic and very simple. A woman wants a man that has the ability to hunt and to gather. And if she has a man that doesn't have the ability to hunt and to gather, then she has to hunt and to gather. And it's not natural in a woman's ability to go out and do that. It's not natural for a woman to be the hunter. And for me personally, I don't want to be the woman that hunts. I've never wanted to be that woman, but I've always taken on the role. And the interesting thing for me with this new, friendship that I'm forming and having this guy calling me on my bad behavior was that it forced me to sit back and go, wow, okay, what do I actually really want? What type of man do I want to welcome into my den? And it was really, really interesting because in the response to him, I basically said, you slotted the line, you're man number 3, welcome to my den. And that was essentially it. And I have been, and this is where I get the law of attraction works every time, because over the last week or two, I have been super focused, where your focus goes, your energy flows. I have been super, super focused on my relationships and what I want from a man and what type of relationship I want, and being really clear and really concise about the type of person I want to welcome into my space. And it was nice having a man that allowed me to have an emotional reaction. He didn't take it personally. He didn't turn into a woman. He didn't, feel hurt or offended or devastated because I might have said something that hurt him, or I might have said something that was negative, or, I didn't hurt his feelings. He stood strong and he stayed centered and he stayed connected in himself and committed to his beliefs, and he stayed true to himself. And it seems strange, and this is all new territory for me, which is why I kind of seem like I'm rambling a bit, and I'm sure it's going somewhere. He has helped me feel more alive, because he's allowed me to have an emotional response, and he's killed the lion. That's the best way I can put it. He's killed the lion that walked into the den. And if you're anyone that is in this kind of situation, you're going to understand what I'm saying. It is really, really, really super nice to have a guy walk into my den that when I have an emotional response, he kills the lion. And yeah, I kind of get the feeling that's all I need to say about that. So the other interesting stuff that's been coming up for me is, as if you've been watching my videos, the other day I had this feeling come up that I had to let Button and Billy go, and I really wanted to feel that sense of freedom, and having them I haven't felt that sense of freedom. I haven't felt that level of connection that I've wanted to feel with myself, because I've been sacrificing myself for them, and I've always sacrificed myself for them. And I was sitting here, just before I was about to get on and do this video, I was sitting here thinking about it, and I got this message on Facebook, and I just want to read to you what it actually says. So give me a sec. It's on the Vortex, and it's from a guy called Stephen Loney. So I'm going to read what he says, because it hands down is amazing. It put everything into alignment for me. So he says 2 words: balance and purpose. Balance. Everything here exists to help us love and be loved. Loving the negative will give it power, but here's the kicker: it will give it power in a positive way. How great a deal is that? Remember, nothing is purely positive or purely negative. It is that way for a reason, and in the end, it all equals love. 2. Purpose. Live according to your highest values. God sends what you want when it is linked to your purpose. Your purpose is what you actually want. God knows better than to give you something for the wrong reasons. Link every thought, feeling, and action to your purpose, and you will come alive like never before. The right people and circumstances will show up. I guarantee it. And I read that and I thought, oh my goodness, he's right. When you're in alignment, you know what your purpose is, or even if you don't know what your purpose is, you at least know what it is that you want. And what you want is actually what you want. It is the true sense of alignment. It is the alignment with what you want. You know, it is your purpose. It's the absolute of what your heart wants, what your soul wants, what your mind wants. It's all in a collaborative vibration. You can feel when what you want is in a collaborative vibration or it's not. And I have always been raised with the philosophy that you sacrifice. I mean, how many people have heard their parents say, if I knew what I know now about having kids, I never would have had kids. Or how many people have heard their parents say, I gave everything to you kids when you were young. Or, you know, how many people know that their parents believed that they sacrificed themselves for their children? And I know mine did. I know mine has this belief that, you know, I came into this earth and then she had to sacrifice herself for me. And being raised in that environment, I have had that exact same belief. I've had this belief that says I have to sacrifice myself for my children. And, you know, those of you that have dogs and have this same philosophy, you'll understand this. Whenever I've had an animal, it has been the same as my children. I don't differentiate between something covered in fur and something covered in human hair. It's no different. It's a living animal. I've made the decision to have it come into my life. I've accepted that responsibility, and it's my role to essentially raise that animal or that child until it passes over, or until I pass over, whichever one comes first. And I don't see that as being any different with animals. And so I see my two as, you know, I set an intention that I wanted 2 kids. I wanted a boy and a girl, and I wanted twins. Now, I didn't stipulate whether it was going to be human children or animal children. I did not stipulate that, and I can see that now. I did not stipulate that to the universe. I sent out the rocket of desire that I wanted twins, and if you see, you know, Button and Billy together, they're twins in every sense of the word, other than the fact that they're a different breed and they have different hair. But they were born pretty much around the same time. They're about 3 or 4 weeks apart. Their energies are very similar. They complement each other. Billy is very vivacious and outgoing. Button is very shy and very quiet. They adore spending time together. They sleep the same way. When one of them rolls over onto its back when they're asleep, the other one will roll over onto its back. And, you know, I frequently look at them and just get this big grin on my face, because they're both sleeping in exactly the same way. And this is consistent. And when they walk, either Billy's walking out front and Button's next to me, or they're both walking out front, but they both walk exactly the same way. And it is super cute. And I realized that I didn't set the intention that I wanted human children. I simply said I wanted children. And that's what I have. And I can see that because I have this belief that I have to sacrifice myself for my kids, I have been really struggling to find, I guess, my alignment with what I'm meant to be doing. You know, I have beliefs that are conflicting other beliefs that are conflicting other beliefs, and I really noticed, just before I started reading this Facebook email, I really noticed how lost I was actually feeling about what I'm going to do with these 2, because I said to a woman on the walk this morning, you know, I'm not the type of person that gives up my responsibilities. You know, I made the decision to bring them into my life, and I'm not the type of person that would give that up easily. If I make the decision to be responsible for something, then I want to follow that through. If these were human children, you know, it would be the same thing. So why does it differ with dogs? You know, if these were my kids and they were 2, would I easily hand them over to somebody else and say, here, I want to rehome my children? Probably not. And so I'm vacillating, and I'm really struggling with that, because my belief system is you take on that responsibility and you commit to it. And you hold that commitment, you harness that commitment, and if that's the belief and it's something that is in alignment and it's true for you, then the universe will yield to whatever it is that is true for you.